Zambia versus Zimbabwe, which country is better? Welcome to the Explore and thanks for watching. In this video, we shall be putting two neighboring southern African countries, Zambia and Zimbabwe, to see which one comes on top. Both countries are landlocked countries, formerly British colonies, multi-ethnic and Christian populated countries in southern Africa. They have similarities in a lot of aspects beside their common location in Africa, but there are still aspects that set them aside. Many factors go into deciding which country is a better option, such as the primary aim of the trip and what you intend doing in the country. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. In this video, we will put them face to face in terms of geography and demography, infrastructure, economy, standard of living, tourism and security to see which country comes on top and in what aspect overall. But first, let us start with the demography and geography of both countries. Geography and demography. Zambia, officially the Republic of Zambia, is a country in southern Central Africa, neighbored by the Democratic Republic of the Congo to the north, Tanzania to the northeast, Malawi to the east, Mozambique to the southeast, Zimbabwe and Botswana to the south, Namibia to the southwest, and Angola to the west. The capital city of Zambia is Lusaka, located in the south-central part of the country. The population is concentrated mainly around Lusaka in the south and the Copper Belt province to the northwest, the core economic hubs of the country. Zambia occupies a land area of 752,618 square kilometers, inhabited by about 17.5 million people. Zambia has a tropical climate and consists mostly of high plateaus with some hills and mountains, dissected by river valleys. Zambia has two seasons, the rainy and dry season, and average monthly temperatures remaining above 20 degrees Celsius. Zimbabwe is a country located in southern Africa between the Zambezi and Limpopo rivers, bordered by South Africa, Botswana and Zambia and Mozambique. The country is inhabited by about 14.5 million people, covering a surface area of 309,757 square kilometers, with its capital and largest city at Harare. Zimbabwe has 16 official languages, with English, Shona and Ndebele the most common. Most of the country, just like Zambia, is elevated, consisting of a central plateau stretching from the southwest northwards with altitudes between 1,000 and 1,600 meters. Zimbabwe has a tropical climate with many local variations and basically 4 seasons. The southern areas are known for their heat and aridity. Parts of the central plateau receive frost in winter. The Zambezi Valley is also known for its extreme heat, and the eastern highlands usually experience cool temperatures and the highest rainfall in the country. The country's rainy season generally runs from late October to March, and the hot climate is moderated by increasing altitudes. Zimbabwe is faced with recurring droughts. The most recent one began early in 2015 and lasted into 2016. In 2019, at least 55 elephants died because of the drought, but severe storms are rare. This country has an average temperature with 4 seasons, but the temperatures are harsh and not very favorable. So, in this round, Zambia, having a mild temperature, takes it home for this round. Infrastructure. Infrastructure in Zambia is a great part of the train to development as in any other country. Of the 66,935 kilometers of roads in the country, few are good quality and paved. Given that the country is landlocked, connecting roads are very important, which is why Zambia Railways control most of the 1,169 kilometers of railroads. There are several railroads linking up the major cities and airports in the country. Speaking of airports, both its primary and secondary airports are found in Ndola, Livingstone and Mfulwe, which are all run by the publicly owned National Airports Corporation (NAC). With regards to electricity, the state-owned Zambia Electricity Supply Corporation (ZESCO) produces electricity for both local consumption and exports to neighboring countries. The state-owned Zambia Telecommunications Company (Zamtel) provides national telecommunication services, and the internet is becoming a very popular means of communication amongst the citizens, hence connecting the country to a global system of a growing trend of communication. Zimbabwe, on the other hand, is a country with a well-developed road network that was comprised in 1996 of 18,338 kilometers of roads, of which 8,692 kilometers are paved. The closest seaport in Beira in Mozambique. Zimbabwe has a direct railway link with Zambia, which connects it to the Tanzanian port of Dar es Salaam through the Tazara Railway. The railway system also connects Zimbabwe to the Mozambican ports of Beira and Maputo, as well as two South African ports. It comprises 2,759 kilometers of track, of which 313 kilometers is electrified. The National Railways of Zimbabwe, NRZ, which operates the rail service, is under reform in preparation for privatization. Zimbabwe has two main airlines which run the air transport system of the country. More so with regards to electricity, Zimbabwe Electricity Supply Authority (ZESA) supplies its energy. Communication has once been the best in Africa, but in recent years it has to improve on its service to match up the times. Even though the economy is down in the dumps, Zimbabwe has far much better infrastructure than Zambia. But of course, the economic crisis has taken its toll on service delivery, especially road maintenance. However, the major roads connecting towns and border posts are in better shape than Zambia's. Economy. The economy of Zambia is one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, and its capital, Lusaka, is the fastest growing city in the Southern African Development Community (SADC). Zambia itself is one of sub-Saharan Africa's most highly urbanized countries. The economy is primarily fueled by mining, agriculture, tourism, energy and manufacturing, even though unemployment and under-unemployment are serious problems. National GDP has actually doubled since independence, but due largely in part to high birth rate and AIDS per capita annual incomes, and are currently about two-thirds of their levels of independence. Zambia averages between $7.5 billion and $8 billion of exports annually. It is totaled by $9.1 billion worth of exports in 2018. As of that year, Zambia's GDP per capita (PPP) stands at $4,216.46, while its current nominal GDP is estimated at $26.720 billion. On the other hand, Zimbabwe, whose economy is fueled by mostly agriculture, mining, tourism and water and sanitation, with the tertiary industry making up to 60% of the total GDP as of 2017, Zimbabwe has the second biggest informal economy, and the share of its economy has a score of 60.6%. Agriculture and mining largely contribute to exports. The economy of Zimbabwe grew at an average of 12% from 2009 to 2013, making it one of the fastest growing economies in the world, recovering from negative growth from 1998 to 2008 before it slowed to 0.7% growth in 2016. As of 2019, the estimated nominal GDP is at $22.290 billion. The economies of both Zambia and Zimbabwe are currently two of the fastest growing in Africa when compared to the other economies in Africa. But on this round of battle for the two economies, Zambia takes it at home with a nominal GDP of $26.720 billion over Zimbabwe with $22.290 billion. Standard of living. Zambia is a low-income earning country with a nominal GDP per capita of $1,342 and a GDP purchasing power parity of $4,180. On the other hand, the nominal GDP per capita of Zimbabwe is $1,424, with a GDP purchasing power parity of $2,621. Zimbabwe has a slightly higher per capita income than Zambia, but then, when we look at the purchasing power parity, we'll find a twist. Zambia's GDP purchasing power parity is $4,180, while that of Zimbabwe lags behind at $2,621. But given that the standard of living of any country is determined by the GDP per capita of the country, we can conclude that Zimbabwe has a slightly higher standard of living than Zambia. Tourism. Zambia has some of nature's best wildlife and game reserves, affording the country with abundant tourism potential. The North Luangwa, South Luangwa and Kafue national parks have one of the most prolific animal populations in Africa, and Victoria Falls in the southern part of the country is a major tourist attraction. What's more, with 73 ethnic groups, there are also a myriad of traditional ceremonies that take place every year. Zambia's tourism industry currently contributes 3.4% to GDP. International visitors alone spend a lot of money, representing 8.3% of the total Zambian exports, and in terms of spending characteristics, the leisure sectors account for a total of 38%, while business was at 62%. Domestic spending on tourism and travel stood at 47%, while international spending was 53%. The industry was estimated to have created a total of 464.6 thousand jobs in 2019, with an estimated 1.1 million expected international visitors in 2019, according to the World Travel and Tourism Council's annual review of the economic impact and social importance. Zimbabwe boasts several tourist attractions located in almost every region of the country, which include at least 8 national parks, including the largest of which is Hwange National Park, Victoria Falls National Park, Mount Nyangani, etc., which pulls in millions of tourists every year. In 2016 alone, the total contribution of tourism to Zimbabwe was $1.1 billion, or about 8.1% of Zimbabwe's GDP. In 2018, Zimbabwe recorded 6% increase in tourist arrivals to 2.5 million tourists in 2018 from 2.4 million in 2017. But last year, 2019, witnessed a rather disturbing drop in tourist visitors from America, Europe, and even Asia, which contributed to a drop in the tourism revenue, but the sector still remains one of the top earning sectors in the country. The tourism sector in both countries is such a big contributor to its GDP, but because Zimbabwe's results contribute about 5 to 8% to the GDP, while Zambia's results account for about 3 to 4% of GDP, it's an indication that Zimbabwe earns relatively more from tourism than Zambia. Therefore, Zimbabwe wins this round. Security. Given the number of tourists these two countries receive every year, it is imperative that the crime rate be at a reasonable low rate. Zimbabwe's 2019 crime rate was estimated at a moderate rate of 57.40%, with crimes such as theft, vandalism, armed robbery, and drugs being the most common in the country. On the other hand, Zambia's crime rate stood at a low rate of 39.47%, with crimes such as drug abuse, vandalism, theft, bribery, and corruption being the most common. With that said, Zambia evidently wins this one for having a crime rate lower than 40%, indicating that for every 100,000 people, about 40 crimes are committed. Conclusion: this has definitely been an interesting battle given how similar both countries are, but then one country has to emerge winner. For the first category, demography and geography, Zambia wins with a better climate, and on the second, which is economy, Zambia still grabbed that point. Infrastructure, Zimbabwe, while Zambia marks one more point on security. Therefore, Zimbabwe has 3 points out of the 6 categories, while Zambia also gets 3 points, making it a tie for both countries. But remember what we said at the beginning of this video. Your choice of which country you prefer depends on your primary reason for the trip. So come on, do you and be happy, because both countries are good and unique in their own ways. Thanks for watching this video, Explorers. Which countries will you like us to compare next? Kindly leave your suggestions in the comment section and we will be sure to grant your request. Also, if you did enjoy this video, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and be sure to share with your friends.